like hot food.
You like hot food. What about you?
Hot food all
Hot
the way.
food. Me, you know what? I can't handle. I can eat it, but let's just say I don't react well to it. Right? I like to eat. I like to eat flavoursome food.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and you know what? Why don't we start off by saying what's our favourite cuisine? What's your favourite cuisine, Abdul Rahman?
I'm gonna
Pakistani food, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I'd probably have to say butter chicken.
Butter chicken.
Yes.
Right. We had this conversation last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. How about you?
Mexican rice. My mom makes it. It's really nice.
Mexican rice,
Yeah.
right? Well, no, for me, I think it has to be Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
Italian food does hit different though.
Sorry?
Italian food does hit different.
Yeah, you know what? I think for me, Italian food, it's just the simplicity of the recipe,
Yeah.
right? And, just very, very simple recipes that when you just put together, right? And it just tastes amazing and I just love it. I think also because of the fact that generally their food is not too spicy for me. So I do like that, right? So, Mariam, coming back to you, you were saying that you started selling off these sweets and these like gift boxes of sweets, and I think that's really amazing. I hope you took a break for your GCSE exam.
Yes, I did.
Right, good. Is that business still running, or have you just gone completely?
I just went into food blogging just
You went into food blogging. So tell us about your first experience of food blogging.
At first, I was just like everywhere I'd go, I would just take pictures, tag businesses and stuff. And then, when we were all at home in lockdown, many businesses started. So I had around 1,000, I can't remember, around that many followers, and people would send me stuff, and I would just take pictures and review it, and it was mainly home businesses, so it was nice to support them in that difficult time.
That's really good, because I always believe, us staying as local people, local to Leicester, we should support our local businesses.
Yeah.
As much as we have our big franchises all around the world, in Leicester as well, we should also support our local businesses and, all these restaurants that just seem to come up, right? So we should be supporting
Especially
them.
on Evington Road, there's loads.
Evington Road is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what, guys, right? Before you were born, what Evington Road was, right? I'm
Yeah.
talking about back in the 90s, right? Because I am an old man. I'm 44 years old now, right? And, back what Evington Road was in the 90s to what it is now, it is a culinary destination. And I feel that, I don't know about you guys, but do you hear people from out of town saying, yeah, we need to come to Leicester, we need to come to Evington Road?
Yeah.
Do you have family that does that, Mariam?
Yeah, my family, my dad's side of the family, they come from London, and they're like, we have to go Chocoberry, we have to go Chaiwala, because they don't really, I don't know, in London there is, but it's all really far, or it's not opened yet. Or when they come from Africa and stuff, they just we have to go to Evington Road.
Wow, that's amazing. So you got people from London and from Africa. Yeah. How about you, Abdul Rahman?
Basically, it's kind of the same for Birmingham as well. You have Elm Rock Road and
Yeah.
Elm Rock Road, it's got all of the destination shops. It's a massive hill, and then you got all the Indian, Pakistani, all those kind of shops. Yeah, all the Asian shops selling clothes, jewelry, food, especially food as well. I remember I went to eat food there once. It wasn't the best, of course, but
Did the place look nice?
Yeah, Elm Rock Road is very you probably heard it. It's so popular.
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Yeah.
So I think I remember once I was on Ladypool Road in Birmingham, and I came across this place. I don't remember the name of it, but they were just frying hot jalebi, and just hot jalebi. Just give it to you fresh from the hot oil, and drizzle the syrup on it, and you just eat it. I just love that. But Siggy, one of the things, I don't know if you ever experienced this, Mariam, coming to a place where it looks amazing inside. And we're not going to mention a name because we don't want to name and shame. We're going to be really neutral. But have you ever went to a place and it looks so nice inside, and they really pulled out all the stops to make it feel like an experience, shall we say, in dining? But then when the food comes out, it's maybe not quite there, right? Have you been to places like that?
Not really.
Oh, so you must be very lucky.
Yeah, not really, but it's out of UK sometimes.
Yeah.
There might be stuff that's appealing, but it's not really nice, and it's small portions.
Small portions, right?
But not in Leicester or anywhere I've been in the UK, not so far.
So you feel Leicester's starting to be a food destination?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely, because I went to the Halal Food Festival a couple of months, no, well, about a month ago, right? And I was absolutely amazed how many people were there. And I think almost on that one day, on a Saturday, there was about 30,000 visitors. And the queues were huge. And Mariam, you didn't make it for that.
No,
so you better make sure next time we have the Halal Food Festival in Birmingham, you better make sure you're there because it is an amazing experience. But be patient because you have to queue up for a long time. I remember I was at one joint and we queued up for almost an hour. Oh. Right. But you know what? It was worth it because I had this, all the food is amazing there. And going back to what I said, back in the 90s, if you were a Muslim person and you wanted to go out and eat, there's a few scattered like takeaway that sold halal food, but then most of the Indian restaurants sold like Indian food that was halal, but you didn't really get that diverse choice. Whereas you guys now, as youngsters, you guys are spoiled for choices, right? But do you feel that what sort of cuisine do you think is represented best in Leicester?
I think Indian or like Pakistani.
Indian and Pakistani.
Back in the 90s, it'd probably be like British and like that.
No,
like
back in the 90s, most of the restaurants where you could get halal food was Indian restaurants.
Yeah.
Right? And you had the odd few, like takeaways here and there.
Yeah.
Right. But now I feel like if you want to go for like Mexican, you can get a Mexican in Leicester. If you want to go for Italian, can we get Italian? Halal Italian? Yes, we can. Yeah. If you want to go for Chinese, you can get a Chinese. Actually, in Everton Road, you can get loads of different. Even like, Japanese food, Korean food. It's all represented really well. Right. And, Arab food, are we missing anything? Are we missing a cuisine? Do you feel that there's someone that needs to come up and do one?
I'm thinking.
Let's think. Let's not think too much.
African, probably.
African, but there is loads of African.
Yeah.
There is, don't you think so? What's your Mariam? What's your favorite cuisine? You said you said your favorite dish is your mom Mexican rice.
Yeah.
Right, but if you wanted to go out to eat, what's your go-to kind of like type of food?
Like Indian or Chinese, it's my go-to.
Do you like Indo-Chinese?
Yeah.
Right. Why do you like Indo-Chinese?
I feel like because it's nice and spicy and it's just like so much flavor and it's just different.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, because that's where I'm from, and that is the majority of the food that you get there is Indo-Chinese, and the restaurant there, the food that they serve there is amazing in there. So I want to ask you a question, Mariam. Food photography plays a significant role in food blogging, right? And what sort of tips could you give to our listeners about how to capture the photo? Because sometimes when I'm taking I think I'm pretty decent at taking photos, but it's like, do I take it from the side, do I take it from the top, how do I make it look good? But when I see other people doing it like you for yourself, you just for some reason just make it look really, really good, right? So come on, give me some tips.
The good lighting is essential, because if the lighting isn't good, your photos are just not going to come out good. Having a good camera is like good as well, because if your camera is not good enough, like your photos will either come out blurry or not clear, you won't be able to see the food and stuff. And also when I take because I got the iPhone 13, so when I take my videos, I try to not edit everything. I try to put some cool transitions and stuff to make people more engaged and everything. And there's a way where you can make it clearer as well if certain apps do that. So then, because when you go on Instagram, the quality goes down.
Okay.
And then when you're uploading it, it comes out blurry when it's not supposed to. So I think...
What app do you use? Are you using CapCut?
No, I use InShot.
InShot?
Yeah.
Oh, remember that, Abdul Rahman. We need to use InShot.
Yeah, they have really cool transitions on there.
Okay, cool. Is it a paid app?
No. It's
okay. InShot. Remember that, Abdul Rahman? Right? And we need to make sure that we get that for what we do at Jizmada, isn't it?
Yeah, coaches especially.
Okay, then let's not talk about that video because I've not done that video yet. Right? No, but that's really good information. I mean, so you basically sort of you're learning on the job.
Yeah.
Right.
before, when I used to take pictures, it used to be like, click, forget about it. But now, as I'm a food blogger, like my family helped me get the best angles, the best photos, and like the good lighting is essential. And especially like if people send you things at home, you have to make sure that it's in a nice area and presentable, so that your followers are more engaged with what the other people are selling.
Yeah, that's really good information to have. I mean, now I've seen on your Instagram that you went to Dubai.
Yes.
Right. Now, would you consider Dubai your culinary destination?
Yes, I love Dubai, and they do have nice fancy places to visit with a good price tag.
With a very good price tag. I remember having a very, very expensive steak in Dubai. Right. Something that was definitely worth it. I'll say that. Have you ever been to the butcher shop?
I think I went once because I think it closed down or something.
I said, oh my God, I need to go back. That shows how long I've been. I went to Dubai in 2019, although at that time I didn't go to the butcher shop. Right? But no, that was the best steak I had ever in my whole life.
Yeah.
I was blown away by that because do you like steaks?
Not really. I'm a more chicken person.
You're more chicken, but you know what, right? Imagine if all three of us were stuck on a desert island, okay, and we had to choose a protein, we had to choose a vegetable, and we had to choose a carb. What would you choose? So you choose chicken.
Yeah.
What would you choose, Abdul Rahman? Vegetables? Which vegetable would you choose? Please don't say sag.
No. A vegetable. I really don't know.
Okay, you know what? I'll choose the vegetable. You choose the carbs. So rice, potatoes.
Probably has to be rice.
Rice, okay. So I'm going to choose, because my daughter loves it, broccoli.
Oh my God.
Right.
I
what are we
really
going to make with this?
Chicken, rice and broccoli.
Chicken, rice and broccoli. No, but we can't just say chicken, rice and broccoli. We've got to think about how we're going to make it. How will we make it? Come on, Abdul Rahman. You're our residential food expert. You always talk about food all the time. What are we going to do with the rice? Boil it?
Yeah, probably boil it.
And then?
Then you might want to put like, because I feel like with broccoli, you probably don't want to make like a more European like cuisine.
Well, to be honest, all I would do with broccoli is I'll steam it. And then I'll fry it with the rice. What do you think, Mariam?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so what would you do with the chicken?
If there's any spices available.
There is spices available. Just imagine we've got a fully stocked kitchen with all the spices. We're just choosing our thing. We're just playing fancy land. And you know what, guys? Right, those of you who are listening, if you got some input into it, I really want to hear from you. So call us in on 0116 482 2086 or WhatsApp us on 077 4885 5055 or give us a message on YouTube or Facebook, because we really would love to have your input on all of this, please. Thank you. Right, so we basically, I think what we're getting is like fried rice with broccoli and chicken in it.
Yes.
All right, I think we need to get a bit more creative next time. Right, okay, so I wanted to ask, I noticed this trend. So I went to this restaurant in London. I don't know if you heard of it, Disham.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
You heard of it? Have you heard of it?
No.
Abdul Rahman, where have you been?
I've never been to London.
We need to educate him now, don't we?
Yeah. I've never ever been to London.
I think we need to do a London trip, right, for the podcast team.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Mariam, do you want to tag along? Shall we do a culinary trip to London, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and in fact, me and you, we can decide where we're going to go, but 100% we need to go to Disham. Okay, right. Now, what Disham is a restaurant that just serves street food, Indian street food.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
Right, and when you go there, you have to wait almost an hour and a half to just get in there. You can't just turn up and expect to get a seat, because what happened to you when you tried to get there?
I think we went and it was just really busy.
Yeah, it was
really busy.
Mega busy. Now, I only ate at Disham one time, and the only reason why we managed to eat there was because it was my brother's graduation. There's a big group of us, and apparently, if you have enough numbers, you can book in advance. Right, so I was very lucky. And do you know what ladyfingers are?
Yeah.
Yeah, ladyfingers?
No.
What's the other word for ladyfingers? What's the other word? Huh?
What is it?
It's a green vegetable.
Oh, is it asparagus?
And it's not asparagus. Green vegetables, and it's got, guys in the studio, can you help me out? Ladyfingers, okra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okra. Yeah,
okra,
I've had that.
Okay, so basically green ladyfingers, and it's basically deep fried in spices, right? You just basically crunch on it, and oh my god, it's yummy. I actually made it, learned how to make it at home because it's got the recipe.
My mum makes that as well. She makes it like a curry, like.
No, but we're not talking about making a curry. We're talking about literally just eating it. Right, so it's almost like they serve it in a cone and just munch away on it. Right, and it is amazing. Right, and you know, I was eating all this like essentially Indian street food. It's very expensive. You know, London is London, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking, you know what? Street food is kind of it's a bit of a thing now, isn't it? Mariam, do you got anything to?
Yeah, I do eat a lot of street food. There is like nice places in Leicester to go to.
Do you feel like it's a bit of a trend nowadays, isn't it? Right,
Yeah.
that where you know, people are starting to open up joints that are street food joints, and it's amazing because these are food that historically, right, the normal people would eat. The aristocrats used to eat the I don't know, the pilau and all this sort of stuff, right? And the korma, the very rich food, right? Whereas the normal people, the middle class, the poor people, they used to eat the street food. But for me, I always loved the street food. For me, that's where the flavor is. That's the way it hits the spots for me, right? And it's funny because also, you know, there's some stuff that you can find in all different countries. So we've got like pani puri, for example. Right.
I love pani puri.
You love pani puri. Do you know what the other word name for pani puri is?
Golgappa.
Golgappa. Do you know another word for pani puri?
It starts with a G as well.
It starts with a P in my country.
No, I don't.
Right, so it's actually called pushka, right, in Bengali. And don't ask me why. You got a confused look on your face. Don't ask me why it's called that. That's just the reason they call it that. And I remember when I went to Bangladesh and seeing my relatives say, "Oh, let's go. We're gonna have some pushka," and all that. Going, okay, I don't even know what this is, but let's go. Let's have it, because I was that experimental. And yeah, I had it. But unfortunately, Mariam, what happened? I ended up in bed for about 2 days with a sore tummy because. Yeah. It's the risk that you take, isn't it? But it's worth it. It's worth it. Mariam, I wanted to ask you a question, totally off script, right? Other than Dubai, right? Where would you want to go and visit the country purely just for food?
Istanbul.
You want to visit Istanbul?
Yes. And yeah, Istanbul, Antalya, but I feel like Antalya is mainly like a beach resort kind of thing.
Yeah.
Paris.
Paris, yeah?
Yeah, Paris. I want to go.
Right. And you know, you said Istanbul. I've been to Istanbul, and I couldn't agree with you more. Istanbul is a beautiful, amazing city. Listeners, if you've not been to Istanbul, personally, I am recommending that you 100% go there. It's such a romantic city. I consider it more romantic than Paris, and that's my opinion. But you know, the city is on the Bosphorus. You can go on a river cruise. Just go there. I've been there twice already, right? And the food there is amazing, absolutely amazing. Especially the kebab that you have, and I love this special kebab that I can only seem to find. You know, it done right in Istanbul, which is called Iskandar kebab, which Iskandar is the Arabic word for Alexander. So apparently they made this kebab and they named him after Alexander the Great. Bit of history lesson for you there, right? But no, Iskandar kebab, if you not heard of it, try it when you're in Istanbul.
So
right?
I never knew you were a history teacher.
I'm not a history teacher, but I do know a bit of history, you know. I think it's really important that you know where you come from, so you know what your present is and where you're going.
Yeah.
Right. But no, and there's a drink in Istanbul called salet. Yep. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I don't even know how to describe it. Right. But have you ever had Horlicks before or Ovaltine?
I think so.
Yeah, Ovaltine,
Yeah. So it's almost like Ovaltine, malty type hot drink.
Yeah.
Right. And when I was in Istanbul twice, we went in February and it's very cold, but only during that time they served this salad, and it's yummalicious, right? Absolutely yummalicious. I need to go to Istanbul today and have it now. Here we all go.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, I'll also take you as well, Zainab. I'm going to take my producer Zainab as well with us. Okay, so so Istanbul. What about you, Abdul Rahman?
Well, as a country, I would want
Yeah,
to.
which country do you want to go to?
I have to say Pakistan.
But you've already been to Pakistan,
Yes.
right? So other than Pakistan, come on, let's be adventurous. Because Mariam, am I right in saying we need to be adventurous?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we need to be adventurous in how we, in the exploration of food, and be adventurous in the way that we try different cuisine.
Yeah.
I feel like Italy is. I think Italy as well.
You want to go Italy? You know, that's actually what I would want to do. I'd want to visit Italy because with Italy, because I do love Italian food.
Yeah.
Right. And I do want to try all the different food there. But then, you know what? Sometimes I want to just throw a bit of a curveball here. South American food.
South American.
Yeah, South American food.
Like Mexican, Argentina.
No. That's the thing. Mexican food is Mexico is not South America.
It's Central America.
That's considered North America.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my geography is not good today.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's actually considered North America. Right,
Yeah.
anything below Colombia is South America. What about you? Have you ever experienced like South American cuisine?
No.
Right. So you know the Brazilian food. They're a big fan of their meat and they're a big fan of the barbecue.
Yeah.
Right. And so I remember going to this place once in London, and they did a Brazilian barbecue. And what you do, they give you a plate, and you literally, the waiter will come and they'll carve the meat in front of your plate and they'll put it on your plate. And if you had enough, then you turn it over. Right? You turn a card over and say, no, I don't want any more. Right? But that's my experience of Brazilian barbecue. And it's some really good choice cuts of meat there. Yeah. Right? So maybe I need to find that name of the place so you can go there and review it. Yeah. Right? And I think that's also an example of how lucky we are that we do live in the country that we do, because back in the 90s, right, we never used to get these sort of like experiences where we could have Brazilian food that was halal, right, and that's where we were stuck, right. So I said South America, right. Is there anything we maybe want to just throw out there and say, well, maybe we want to try this out, or is there any food that you see that's on TV or something, so you know what, I want to try that?
Still thinking.
No? Any ideas?
Lebanese, maybe.
Lebanese food. Have you ever been down in London along that strip where there's all Arab foods places?
Yeah. Is it Edgware Road?
Edgware Road, that's the one. You should go there and you could try the food there. So, my question that I wanted to ask is, have you been to a place, Mariam, where maybe the food wasn't great? How diplomatic were you in doing a review of that place?
Alhamdulillah, so far in my journey, I haven't had any disappointments or any problems with any places I've visited or anyone that has gifted me anything. But if I did experience it,
how would you deal with it?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to name and shame.
No, of course not.
It's not. I know I give honest reviews, but I feel like every business has a teething problem at first.
Yeah.
Or even in like when they're starting up and stuff, you can't just name and shame.
No.
I feel like I wouldn't post anything. I just wouldn't say anything.
So you know what? You should change your Instagram tag to, instead of Mariam Reviews, you change it to Mariam_honest_reviews. Because that's such a great answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. It just shows how the qualities that a reviewer should have, because there are some reviews out there who are very harsh, and they can almost like destroy a business with their critiques, right? And I've read some reviews sometimes in the newspaper, and I thought, whoa, just getting a bit harsh there, right? And Mariam, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Where do you think you want to go with your Instagram? Or do you see still reviewing food, or do you want to maybe take it on on YouTube, and have your own YouTube channel, have your own cooking channel? Right? What do you want to do?
I feel like I would want to continue my food blogging, not just in Leicester but around the world and around the UK, and give people like different ideas on where to go and what to do, and also like not just food but just like activities to do and stuff as well.
Yeah, because listeners, let's not forget, right, Mariam is 17 years old, right? And I think it's absolutely amazing what she's able to achieve by the age of 17, right? And, you know, honestly, I am so proud of all your achievements. I'm really, really impressed. And I think, you know, the listeners should definitely take some inspiration. So if you are listening, please do check out Mariam's Instagram account, because the quality of the video there is absolutely spot on, right? So do you do the video editing yourself, or do you have a team around you, or do you just...
I just do everything by myself.
Wow. So, you know, I'm going to ask you a few technical questions, because I'm kind of into these video editing things, because that's what I do in my job as well. When you do your video editing, are you doing it all on your phone, or do you do it on your laptop?
I tried once on my laptop and I just got a bit confused, so I just stick to my phone.
So you do everything on your phone?
Yeah.
Wow. InShot, remember that?
Yeah.
I'm going to use InShot as well now.
Your phone's probably full of a lot of storage then.
Sorry?
The phone might be full of a lot of storage then.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. But, you know, Ziggy, I think it's really cool how social media almost drives the food business nowadays, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Because I think businesses do rely on that, rely on the goodwill of people, and rely on the goodwill of reviewers as well, such as yourself, to come and drive on the business. And I think the role that you play in today's society is, you know, it's really important, and we should not knock it back, for sure. And I think, you know, you should really keep up with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what, Mariam, I want to inspire you today. I think, honestly, with the work that you do on your Instagram account, I think you should really go on, and you should also have a food blog where you are going around, right, and you're basically talking about different cuisine and things like that, and talk to the camera rather than just talking about businesses.
Yeah.
Right. I think that should be your next step. Hey, maybe even, you know, you have your own radio show.
Yeah.
Right? Why not? Because, you know, I think Ramadan FM deserve a bit of a radio show about food and cooking and things like that. Right? We should talk. Do you do baking?
Yeah, I try to in my spare time.
You do baking then. What's your favourite thing to bake?
Chocolate cake.
Sorry?
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cakes, right? Do you have a recipe for brownies?
Not really good at brownies.
All right. Oh, Zainab has a recipe for brownies. Okay, awesome. I'll get that off you for later, yeah? You know, I once made, a couple of times I have made I made a lotus biscoff cake, right? And it was hard. It doesn't come out right all the time. One time I accidentally used vegan margarine, right? But it was the softest cake ever. Right, I don't know why that was. Right, do you have a secret to baking to make the cake rise nicely? Now, to get the sponge nice and soft, what's your secret?
I went to baking classes, so what I learned...
So that's the secret, going to baking classes, everyone. Right, so what the secret did you learn from there?
I learned that, you know how you tend to like poke in when the cake's in the oven. You shouldn't do that. You should put your hand over it.
Okay.
And you'll know, because if you poke it, that side will just become not cooked.
So basically that releases the gas. So what? So you put your hand on it, and then what?
And then you kind of get an incline if it's done or not. I've tried it a couple of times.
And how's it gone for you?
Yeah, it's gone well.
Yeah. And you know, you were saying that you started off with a business and you had... you were selling sweets. I mean, I think in Leicester, there's loads of bakers out there who are running businesses, right? And do they give you stuff to review?
Yeah. In lockdown, I had loads of people give me like treats and cakes and pizzas and pastries and loads of food.
I think, you know, one thing with lockdown was I saw so many like Instagrammers selling stuff. There was even like someone doing mojitos and things like that.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. And I remember one time we were feeling, you know, that we wanted a bit of Turkish food, but obviously all the restaurants were closed. And then what happened? We found an Instagrammer, and they're basically just selling Turkish food and homemade Turkish food, and it was really good. Nothing like homemade food, is there, people?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like restaurants that much. I like home food as well.
You like home food as well? Right. Okay, so you know what? We're going to go back to our situation in the desert island. So, Abdul Rahman, you are going to choose the protein.
Thank you. I would say steak.
So, no, protein, not necessarily steak protein. We're talking about what? Lamb steak, or we're talking about beef steaks?
Beef.
Beef steaks, yeah? And what do you want to choose, a carb, or do you want to choose a vegetable?
I'll choose a carb, potatoes.
You want to choose potatoes, okay? So I'm going to choose asparagus. What can you make? What can you make with these three things? Because you're thinking a steak, right? You're thinking what potatoes? What would you do with that potato?
Like roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes. What roast potatoes? And what would you roast it in? Butter or what?
Yeah, butter and like crispy ones.
Yeah, and I'm going to do asparagus, and I'm going to do flash fry in garlic powder, garlic granules, and things like that. And I said that'll be an awesome 5-star dish there, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, come on, we're going to make that one day, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, brilliant. All right, so, I wanted to ask you another question, Mariam. And my question to you is that if you wanted to now open your own business, right, selling food, what food would you sell? Would you sell like a particular type of cuisine, or would you sell, for example, like desserts and cake shop and things like that? What would you do?
I think I would sell desserts because it's a bit of an easier option than cooking.
Okay.
So
we're talking about like cake shops. We're talking about like cupcakes and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's your choice. What about you, Abdul Rahman?
To be honest, I'd probably say like a dessert shop. But like, I wouldn't want like cakes and stuff. I would want like something like an Arabic cuisine. You know what I mean?
Like kanafe.
Yeah, kanafa.
I love. Is it kanafe or kanafa? What
You
do you
can say
think?
it the
What do you
other
think,
way.
Mariam? You can settle this for us. Is it kanafe or kanafa?
Kanafa.
Sorry?
Kanafa.
Kanafa. I'm going to say it like that now, yeah?
Actually, my sister's starting a kanafa business as well.
Okay, we're not promoting the business.
No,
here.
I'm just saying.
Oh, brilliant. We must try it one day, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And, for me, I do love that. That's something that you'd want to sell there as well. Or would you want?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just stick to the classics?
Stick to the classics.
Yeah, sometimes sticking to the classic is the best. I remember watching this TV show, and on this TV show there was this really amazing hotel, and a very old hotel in London. And what they do in that hotel was that they basically had a 5-star restaurant, and in that 5-star restaurant, the chef actually made custard creams from scratch. And they were selling it for so expensive. But they said, this is not just any old custard cream. This is a Michelin star custard cream. And I go, whoa. Right? And sometimes, sticking to the classic is the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So,
like you have like different, a lot of different like variations of like kanafa. You got like different flavors as well.
Yeah. So is someone going to ask me what I want then? What kind of restaurant or business I would want to open?
Oh yeah, what business would you?
Because you're supposed to be my co-host. Come on, Abdul Rahman, get on with it.
Okay, Mr. Chowdhury, what business would you want to open?
Well, in terms, I think there's two, right?
Two, okay.
Right, I would love, and I know it will not work, right? But I would love to open a world buffet, like place. But for me, would it work? I don't think so, right? Because I think sometimes if you open a restaurant with too many choices of food, sometimes that can, then you do, the customer wouldn't get the best of experience, would they? Right. Yeah. So for me, I don't think that's the way to go. But if I was to then actually go down the other way, I think I'd love to open a proper Italian restaurant or something like that. Right. So what did you think of that?
I like the Italian thing, but
yeah. I think there's a real authentic Italian restaurant that was halal in Leicester. I think that could do really well.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
There is one.
What's it called?
Timo's. It's on Allendale Road.
I better check it out then, isn't it?
And Mondays they have 20% off, I think.
Sorry?
On Mondays they have 20% off.
Oh, brilliant. You know what? I also like Portuguese food, right? And
I love Portuguese steak.
you love Portuguese steaks. On my wife's side of the family, they're Mozambique, but they originate from, they also have links to Portugal as well. And there's this Portuguese cafe that's opened on up here road. Right, I forgot the name of the place, but their bread is so yummalicious. Oh my God. Why is it that the Portuguese people know how to make the best bread? Right, because when I go to Lisbon, all we have is just bread and cheese. That's it, and butter. That's all we have, and I think that's just great. And so, just winding down. I mean, I think food blogging is not just about sharing recipes, but it's also sharing, having a unique online, presence and engaging with the community of fellow food enthusiasts. So, when you're online, do you get a lot of messages? From people, questions from people. How's your engagement with your audience, Mariam?
Yes, when I go to places and stuff, people will ask me, oh, is it reasonably priced? Or they'll just comment on my post saying, oh, we'll check this out, we'll try this. And I tend to do Q&As and just engage more, in case people have other questions that sometimes I may not see the message or something.
So how do you stay inspired to keep going? Right? Do you feel... do you still have that same excitement? Or
I do. I like it. I enjoy it. It's like my hobby, and it just gives me a break from other things like school and stuff.
So is this something that you feel like you can make a career in?
No.
No. So you just your side. What aspiration do you have? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to become a lawyer.
You want to become a lawyer, mashallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah, you'll get there.
Inshallah, you'll get there. Right, what kind of law are you interested in, or just want to be a lawyer?
Maybe criminal law, family law.
Everyone wants to be a criminal law. Right, no, that's brilliant. I'm really pleased to hear that. And, when you're a lawyer, you can be the food blogging lawyer. Right? And all these restrictions and everything, we have to have all these certificates. But just looking at the time, oh my goodness, we only have less than 2 minutes and I need to wind the show down. Right, so as we reach the end of this delectable episode of The Flavorful Journey, I hope you have savoured every moment and gained valuable insight into the world of cuisine and food blogging. Remember, food is not just a sustenance, it's a source of joy, connection, and creative expression. Wouldn't you agree with that, Mariam? Yes. I think that's something that links all of us together, right? And whether you're a seasoned food enthusiast or an aspiring food blogger, let the flavors you discover inspire you to embark on your own culinary adventure. Please don't be one of them boring people that have the same food over and over again, right, Mariam?
Yeah.
Right, check out places like Mariam Reviews on Instagram, because you need to see all the places she goes, and maybe you get inspired to try different cuisine and get on a journey, because I think that's really important. We have to be adventurous. We can't be having Pakistani food or Bengali food all the time, right? We got to try different food, right, Abdul Rahman? Yeah. Right. So when you continue on this flavorful journey, right, remember to savor each bite, celebrate the diversity of cuisine. We are extremely lucky in Leicester to have all the different cuisines, and embrace the joy of sharing your culinary experience with others. Share your food for passion, and online as well. And, share recipes. Let's come together as a community. Share all of these things with your friends. Mariam, is there any last messages that you want to send to your listeners, to your fans?
Follow me on Instagram for any more recommendations, and I'll try and post the best content.
Brilliant. What about you, Abdul Rahman?
Love food. I love food.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the next episode, because Abdul Rahman is on there again. And